My fellow Ambazonians, I'm coming back to you with more sad news. I wish I was coming with some good news. Over 2 months ago, some of our leaders were picked up at Naira Hotel in Nigeria. Before that would happen, we had conveyed some information to some of the members of our government, interim government, to inform them that there was an impending meeting and that they should look into this matter to make sure that nobody goes to such a meeting. A few days ago, some of those adopted were released. And barely a few days from that, the same systematic ways that our leaders were taken out of Naira Hotel, some of our leaders were adopted in Calabar, Nigeria. And this time, before it happened, we got information that the double agent among us was collecting the data of young people in the refugee camps, ages ranging from 11 and up, promising that he was going to take them to South Africa. I got this information and conveyed it to Chris Anu. Chris Anu got the information, I believe did nothing. I got this information and called the camps to try to persuade the young people to not register with anybody except the United Nations refugee organizations that are there in the camp. And when I called, some of these young people were on their way heading to a meeting, and they told me about the meeting. I immediately persuaded them to not go to any meeting. I asked them to call the rest of their colleagues and tell them not to go to a meeting. Of course, they did. 11 of those young people did not go, and they were safe. I conveyed this information to Chris Anu, and Chris Anu asked me for evidence. Chris Anu, you are toiling with the lives of young people of Southern Cameroon. If you are the communication secretary, if they give you information, you don't call the camp and say you spoke to the people, your people. Every single Southern Cameroonian is your responsibility. If you are in the interim government that you claim that you are, it is your responsibility to protect the people of Southern Cameroon. You came out and castigated our young people that are defending the motherland with their lives. You call them irresponsible. I believe, Chris, you are very, very irresponsible, and for that reason, you ought not to be a member of this government. You cannot call the people, or you cannot blame the people that La Republique is coming out and killing. You cannot blame them for defending the motherland and call the burning of the villages and the damaging of properties as their responsibility. Chris Anu, is not their responsibility. It is the responsibility of the governing council to protect the people of Southern Cameroon. And if this interim government cannot do that, then they should all resign. Where are our leaders? Can we believe that since these people were adopted, this interim government has done nothing? They have told us lies upon lies. Chris Anu said they are in Nigeria. The Haggard Mangang said they are in Cameroon, in La Republique. Who is telling the lie here? Chris, if you cannot take the heat, get out of the kitchen. This is a revolution. This is not politics. This is not a stroll to the park. In a revolution, Each time people make mistake, they pay for that mistake. In politics, when you make a mistake, you lose an election. We are in a revolution that people are losing their lives. The lives of young people, the property of people. A nation is going down the tube. And Chris, you come here to talk politics. This is not politics. Politics is when somebody goes out and build a bridge. Then they don't paint the bridge. Their opponent comes by, paints the bridge, and now go on to tell the people that he is the one that has done the best job because they have a painted bridge. And then the people tend to support him instead of the person that built the bridge. That one is called politics. For now, we are in a revolution. And in a revolution, when you spell the name of the revolution wrong, you lose a finger. They chop off your finger. This is not politics. We are fighting for the liberation of our people, and we are not fighting for positions. There is absolutely no position right now. All of us should be fighting after a common goal, the liberation of the people of Southern Cameroon. I find it very hard to believe that the member of this interim government will come on the air and talk about and blame ADF for the burning of villages that they shot and ran, and for that reason they damaged villages. So what does that benefit us? I want to say that ADF is protecting the lives of the people of Southern Cameroon. La Republique is the one that is coming out and killing our people, and they should be blamed. So Chris Anu, direct your blame to your master, La Republique. Your double agent is telling you to tell people the wrong information. When the people were released in Nigeria the other day, you came on the air and you said, we are giving them time to rest. Look, how do you know that these people were under detention? You don't know. You told us that they were in individual cells by themselves. That is what you have been told. When you went to Nigeria before, you came back and told us that the United Nations woman went and met with them, and they are all in Nigeria. Now you are telling us that they were in individual cells and they are sick, and you want them to get better before you talk to them. Chris, when somebody was in captivity, especially in the hands of the enemy, when they release them, you want to talk to them immediately, because you can use the information that you obtain from them to free the other members that were captured alongside with them, if at all they were captured. Chris, stop telling lies. You are lying to the people of Southern Cameroon. This is another Chiroma episode. We did not hire you to become an Issa Chiroma. We hired you because you were a straight talker. Now you are a crooked talker that is ranting and speaking pahas. We don't want you to come here and lecture lies. Chris, before we left Abuja, the interim government told us that they have scrapped Skapak. That Skapak is no more. Barely a few weeks after we left Abuja, 5 members of the interim government were pushed into Skapak by the double agent. The interim or the acting interim president, until his appointment, was a member of board of directors of Skapak. How can you say you have shut down an agency, an entity, and turn around and appoint people on board of that entity? Who are we fooling here? We should stop playing politics with the lives of our people. I spoke to the wives, some of the wives of the people that were adopted in Abuja at Naira Hotel. And they have not heard a word from the people, the members of government, of the interim government. And now we have forgotten about these people completely, and now we are protecting the double agent that we have in our midst. When Chris came online the other day to talk, he spent time defending the double agent, not talking about those young people that were picked up in Calabar. Instead, started blaming them for going to a meeting. Look, we have our vulnerable young people at the camps, and I don't want anybody traumatizing those young people more than the trauma that they've already gone through. Some of them, they slept in bushes for days and weeks before they could arrive in Nigeria. We should stop using these young people to play our games. They are not toys. Look, each time that somebody is captured or somebody is killed, we have more victims. The parents, the uncles, the aunties, and us as a nation. So, Chris, when you go out to talk after they've captured or somebody have lost their life, speak on behalf of the people of Southern Cameroon and tell their families that we are sorry. Let's build a nation. Let's give a free nation to our people. We should not take with us what we saw in La Republique to our new nation. We should not be appointing people left and right, and yet nothing to show for those appointments. Can you believe that Manga is a member of cabinet of this interim government? Can you believe that you have people like Vicky Bulanga on the interim government? And yet, all they talk about is how others are performing less than they do. Why should the interim government be comparing what they are doing with the rest of the masses? We have talked of collaboration. ARC is talking about collaboration. Collaboration means you do what you know how to do best, and I do what I know how to do best, and then we bring together our result towards a common goal. A common goal is a free Southern Cameroons. And that is what we are fighting for. The Ambazonia, that people can move around freely. The Ambazonia, that nobody will lie to them and get away with it. The Ambazonia, that if somebody give away our leaders, there is consequences. The Ambazonia, that if our people are killed, we can all rise and defend the remaining people. Not the Ambazonia when people are killed, then you come out to blame the dead or to blame the family of the dead. My dear Ambazonia people, I am very sorry for the things that these people are doing. We will get to Boya. When we get to Boya, we will build a nation that is comparable to none. You will be free at last and can do things freely. There will be no such people like Chris Anu telling you that you were wrong to march to Boya. There will be no such people like the double agent that we have giving away our young people. There will be no such people like Issa Choroma. La Republique will not cross over the border and kill you and get away with it. We will build a nation where if La Republique people come across and kill our people, they will hold them responsible for it, try them, put them in jail. We will not blame our people for having a free country. I urge all of you to not forget our vulnerable population. Those young people in the camp that they are deceiving to go to meetings so they can capture them, the only reason they are going is because they are promising them money. They are hungry. They need food. If we feed them, nobody is going to lure them into a meeting with food. If we give them a free nation, nobody will lure them into a camp in order to arrest them. So I urge you, all of you, to work towards collaborating and building a new nation. My fellow Southern Cameroonians, dear Ambazonian people, we are in a revolution. We are not playing politics. This is not the time for politics. Politics will come when we have a nation. And what we are doing now, we are not doing it for ourselves. We are doing it for future generations. So let nobody fool you that we are in for positions. Absolutely, there's no position right now. The one position that we need to get is a free country for our people. That is the one position that we all should be fighting for. And once we get that for them, the young people, can fight politics and become leaders. This is not for us. Our time has passed, and we are building a nation for our people. So when people like Chris Anu comes out to blame you for defending your country, look at them in their faces and ask them to move over to La Republique with their double agent and build a free country. I salute you. I salute you, that mother that is yelling because her child is gone. I salute you, that father who have not seen his wife or his kids. I salute you, that mama that was burnt in the house. And I salute you in the diaspora who is working so hard to make sure that we don't forget about our refugees. Please work as an individual, but yet collaborate with the rest of the group so that we should work towards a common goal. Thank you so much, and may God bless Ambazonia.